Hello again, Lobo fans, and welcome into your Lobo Coaches Show with the head football coach at UNM, Danny Gonzales. I'm Robert Portnoy. Coach G, it's great to be back with you, and we're going to talk about a trip to Logan, Utah, and a Mountain West battle with the Utah State Aggies, a game for your team that started off pretty well, and you had a halftime lead.
We did, and that's kind of been the theme. We've had a halftime lead in 3 of the 5 games. We just got to come out and play better in the second half. I mean, we're making way too many mistakes. I made some comments after the game about being a bad football team, and I do believe we are right now. I don't think there's any reason to lie to the kids. I told them from day one, I'm going to tell them my honest opinion all the time, and I don't believe in this everybody gets a trophy atmosphere. I think they need to know the reality of where we're at and who we are, and if they show up to work every day to fix it, then we'll change some of these outcomes. But right now, this is the reality of what's going on around here, and we got a lot of work ahead of us.
I know one of the positives throughout the year has been your team's resiliency. And when they gave up 28 straight points there in the third quarter, that's a fold your tent kind of moment. They didn't do it, and they got back within a score and had a chance to get off the field on the 3rd and 5 there late. If you get it back, maybe you go down and tie the game.
That 3rd and 5, that's the worst possible outcome. I mean, that particular defense, we're rushing 6 guys. Never in my wildest dreams did I think the quarterback would scramble for a 62-yard touchdown. I mean, we've called that defense numerous times over the years, and the results have been completely different. We had, Cam Miller needs to defeat a block, and the worst part is I don't think we scrambled off the ground fast enough to finish the play. And our pursuit angles were not very good. I mean, even if we don't make the tackle in the backfield right there, we get him on the ground 5-10 yards down the field. We still got 7 minutes to go and 3 timeouts. So we have an opportunity to get the ball back for our offense to see if we can tie the game or go for 2 and win it. But we just didn't make the play.
All right, time for us to take our first time out on this edition of your Lobo Coaches Show. We come back on the other side. We review first half highlights with Lobo head football coach Danny Gonzales. We're back on your Lobo Coaches Show with head football coach at UNM, Danny Gonzales. I'm Robert Portnoy, and Coach G. It was a 41-27 loss at Utah State. It's time to dig into first half highlights of the Lobos and the Aggies.
All right, we'll see. Here, early on, I thought we did a good job of keeping them out of the end zone. We get them into a 3rd down here, hold them to a field goal. Now, we gave up a couple of plays on the drive that allowed them to get down there. But I thought by halftime, we'd only given up 6 points, and our mantra of keep them out of the end zone, we had done a good job. We sent a corner blitz right there. They tried to run a zone read into it, and we stopped them for nothing. We come down, we're able to, I thought Trey really, he showed what kind of heart and how tough he is. And, the longevity of our program, can we run the quarterback the way we're running him? I don't think we can. But right now, we're trying to establish an identity and a culture, and I think it's part of what we do. It's a really nice run right there by Bobby Cole. I thought early on in the game, we were playing a physical brand of football. I thought they were doing a really good job, and by halftime, obviously we had the 13-6 lead. This was a nice, methodical drive by the offense to get down, and then Donovan Murphy, I thought he did a nice job on the night, putting us in positions to do what I talk about, erase mistakes. Now, that was a big-time pass interference call. I thought Marcus was going to be able to catch that ball. But there weren't very many calls that went our way, and sometimes good teams make calls go their way, so never blaming it on the officials. There's a nice one by Donovan Murphy right there. It was a way to get that taste out of your mouth of missing the 4 field goals that we missed the week before, and I thought he did a nice job kicking. Dante Martin with the sack. Joey Noble came really close, but once again, they made some positive yards to get down in our end, and then we stiffened up and held them to another field goal, and we got a 6-3 lead. I thought at this point we were playing very physical.
Here you send Trey Hall around the corner, and you talked about physicality. He showed it at the quarterback position. We saw Manny Logan Green, one of your smaller wideouts, break a tackle and get a first down. That part of the culture is really starting to be inserted, isn't it?
And I do. I think Trey is a big part of that, and the way he runs the ball and the way those guys were blocking for him. And I think Trey is one of the tougher guys on our team, so we're going to continue to do that. Now we'll find out whether or not he'll be able to play, but I thought the offense brought a little bit. We did a little bit of the triple option stuff, but I thought our running backs in the first half were really doing a good job of getting downhill. Here's another speed option right there. A really nice job by Trey Hall, and doing a good job of reading his keys and getting down to scoring positions so we can put this ball in the end zone and gain some momentum and keep building, hopefully, keep building on the lead bigger. Now, we ended up getting this touchdown here and then the field goal later on. Really nice job right there by Trey. It's a really nice job of running the football. He took a shot there, but what a really just physical run. It was outstanding. Now they called him short of the goal line, and we head out to Bobby Cole, and Bobby Cole just finishes.
You know, on that previous option where Trey cut it upfield, I think there was a play earlier, in this quarter where you saw Trey, it was maybe a keep read, and he didn't keep it, and that time he stuck his foot in the ground and got upfield.
He did. He was vertical downhill all day, and I thought, like I said a second ago, I think he's one of the tougher guys on our team, so we have to take advantage of that. Now, the defense, I thought we got kind of lucky right here. We let him get outside on this pursuit. Now, Brandon Shook did a great job scraping across. Peasley tries to dive for the end zone, and there's no doubt it was out. I mean, on our coach's copy, it's not even close. That ball's loose, and the referees made the right call and called it a touchback. It's one of those, though, that if they would have called it a touchdown, I don't think they're reversing it. So I'm glad they called it the way they called it.
I agree with you. The way that the play is called on the field is so important when they go into those replay reviews. And again, another physical run by Trey Hall, breaking a tackle and taking another lick and picking up a first down.
You know, I thought Trey did a really nice job on this drive in particular of getting us down in field goal range. We did have a couple of timeouts still. When we get down there, we're not a great passing team. We're not the air, and what I mean is by philosophy, we're not the air raid type of scheme. So 7 seconds, if you take one more chance of scoring a touchdown and you make a mistake, now you lose the 3 points on the board. So I thought Trey did a nice job here of driving us down, getting us in position.
This was a strange situation here, Coach G, where they let that whole thing play out and the run back and everything when it was obvious that the ball was deflected at the line of scrimmage.
They did, and the referee, he came over and he apologized. He basically said, we want to let things go to make sure that we don't make mistakes if there's any chance for an opportunity. I think through the mechanics of it, he signaled that it was a fair tip right away, and that means ball's going forward, so it should have been dead, but it didn't change the outcome, so then they got it right. Then we go to get that last field goal, and we have a 13-6 halftime lead.
So you've got a halftime lead. What about the message to your team at the break with you guys up by 7 against Utah State on the road?
Well, I thought on the defensive side of the ball, it was you guys did a nice job of keeping it out of the end zone. We need to stiffen up earlier so they can't get down there and we can't make mistakes. Now, I thought at this point of the game, we had gotten a really good feel for their receivers. I thought we had gained some confidence there and were able to cover them. And then on offense, I thought we had been physical. I thought we had established the line of scrimmage and we could continue to build on that in the second half and see where it takes us. Going into this, Utah State had been very close in all their games and then had lost somewhere in the second half. So I was hoping that we were going to continue to build on that and see what happens in the second half.
All right, time for us to take a break. We come back with second half highlights with Coach Gonzales after this.
30 more minutes of fight.
Welcome back into your Lobo Coaches Show with the head football coach at UNM, Danny Gonzales. And Coach D, it's time to get into second half highlights. The Lobos carry a touchdown advantage into the third quarter at Utah State.
I thought this spread of the second half, that's about as miserable part of football as I've been around in a long time. If we make this fourth down stop, which we have 2 unblocked guys, it probably changed the entire momentum for the second half because we're going to get the ball right there at the 50-yard line. We don't make the stop, and then 2 plays later, here it is. We get beat on a post route where we should, we've covered this route numerous times in the first half. They didn't even throw it because we had it covered. Dante Martin gets a good break. We have to intercept that ball. That ball there's no way that should be a touchdown. And then the very next series, another, 3rd and 6, we get an opportunity. We can make that a third down. We cause a fumble, and I don't think we're aggressive enough attacking the football. We don't have enough guys on the ground to get it. And then, a big play. Again, now Nico Bolden hyperextended his knee on that play. You can see him right there as he turns out of it. He can't hardly move, but that's a play that we've got to make and cover too. We should be able to get that one easy. And then it seems like here we go. The wheels are about to come off. We get a punt blocked. We throw an interception for a touchdown. And this one right here, in my opinion, is that's just terrible. That's terrible football, what I'm talking about right there. We have a guy lined up. If we just come up and wrap him up, it's going to be third down. We'll get a chance to get off the field or hold him to a field goal. And instead, it's a 21 points in about a 6-minute span.
Trey Hall here takes a big hit, and this is the old empty hand situation where the ball came out before the arm's moving forward.
Yeah, they said they reviewed it and said that it wasn't the old Tuck rule, the old Tom Brady rule, that they had caused a fumble before he went forward. And Now we're down 34-13, 21 points with 5 minutes left in the third quarter. And I think you said it earlier. I mean, I'm proud of our guys for the fact that this game could be over easily and it could get really, really ugly. And we fought our way back and had a chance to get the ball back and tie it or go for two. We just couldn't make the play on third down, as you'll see coming up. Once again, Trey Hall, what a physical run. And then Bryson Carroll with his second touchdown pass on the year. We're giving him a hard time on the sideline. He almost waited too long to throw that one, but I think Andrew Erickson has proven to be our most reliable receiver right now, and he catches everything that comes his direction, and there you go for another touchdown.
You've got the throwback to Trey Hall from BC, and now this one on the halfback pass. He throws it to Andrew Erickson, and here you get a tackle for a loss.
You know, I thought we came out of, I don't believe in the old win one for the Gipper kind of speeches and stuff, but we called the defense up just to challenge their character. I mean, hey, you can either step up and play right now or you're going to get embarrassed. And they fought their way back. We gave ourselves a chance to be in the game. I thought Connor Janal came in and did a really good job in the circumstances. I mean, we're down by 14 when he came in the game. We hadn't had a whole bunch of success. I mean, Trey had been really our biggest success running the ball. And then here we come up with another big turnover, and Connor leads a great drive to get us down there. Now, Connor took a couple really big shots that, man, I was really proud of him for getting up. And I think we're establishing that part of our identity, that we want to be tough and not get, if they have to come get us off the field, come get us off the field. We just have a long way to go, but you're going to see a nice touchdown drive here, and I'm sure we'll show the hit on Connor. A really nice throw to Marcus Williams right here. Stayed there in the pocket. Good job by Marcus, and it's going to give us an opportunity to get back in the game.
Tavian Combs forced the fumble for you that created that opportunity. Nico Bolden had another forced fumble earlier in this game. You guys are creating more turnovers, and here's a fabulous run by Bryson Carroll.
There's the lick that Connor Janal took, and I was really proud of him for getting up right away. They called it targeting, so we had a first down and goal opportunity down there, but that's one heck of a lick, boy, and good for Connor for getting himself up. And that's one of those shots that I talk about. I don't think we can continuously get the quarterback derailed like that and keep a healthy one. So as we evolve and as we continue to set our identity, some of those things will change. Here's a nice run by Bobby Cole, putting the ball in the end zone. And now with 8 minutes to go, we've got an opportunity to get the ball back and try and tie it up. I think this was obviously the game doesn't come down to one play, but this shouldn't happen. There ain't no way. We get into pursuit angles, we get him on the ground, and we have another opportunity. We still have all 3 timeouts in 4 minutes, but to let a young man rush 62 yards, that's not faster than your guys. The bad angles that we took, we've got to get him on the ground so we have an opportunity to get our offense the ball back.
Let me ask you a question, a technical question about defense there. Tony Collier, he's covering his man. When do you want him to peel off his man there to go to the quarterback and make a tackle? Once
they've determined that the quarterback is beyond the line of scrimmage, it's every man for himself to go get whoever the ball carrier is. And I thought he waited a little bit long. Now, sometimes for a corner, it's hard to tell whether or not the ball is beyond the line of scrimmage, so it may take a little bit longer, but sooner or later, we've got to establish it and go get him. Now, I thought Connor did a nice job on this drive of trying to get us back in position, and then now we throw one up. I thought that they got away with the pass interference call on the previous play, but it didn't go our way. And like I said earlier, I think good teams make their own breaks, and right now we're not doing that.
All right, so the Lobos fall at Utah State, 5 consecutive defeats, Coach G, and I know it's been a tough start, but your team has continued to show fight. What about the quarterback situation? And were you able to pinpoint the play where Trey took the hit that created the problem with the ribs, or was it a couple of them?
It was a combination of a few of them, but there's one on an option play where a DB gets a really good shot right at his rib cage. Now, Trey played a few plays after that. They were really concerned of whether or not he did break a rib at the time. He went and had his CT scan today. We do not have the results of it yet, but Trey's been moving around a lot better. I don't think he'll be available this weekend. We should know by tomorrow if Tavaka will be available. And if not, then we're going to roll with Connor Janal and Isaiah Chavez, and we'll throw a team out there to compete. And I think like the previous 5 games, we'll be a very competitive football team. If we can make plays and continue to make plays to all the way to the end of the game, we'll have a chance.
Okay, the Lobos fall by 2 scores at Utah State. We come back on the other side. Coach G mentioned Tavaka Tuioti. We'll get an update on the man who started the first 2 games of the year for the Lobos at quarterback, and we'll peek ahead to a home game in Las Vegas against Wyoming. That's next. Back to wrap up this edition of your Lobo Coaches Show with the football coach at UNM, Danny Gonzales. I'm Robert Portnoy. And Coach G, I wanted to ask you about your starting quarterback from the beginning of the year, Tavaka Tuioti, as he continues to come through the concussion protocol. You mentioned him as we went to last break, and you're hopeful to get him on the practice field this week. What's the latest news on Tavaka's condition?
I think there's progress that's been made. He was out of practice yesterday. He did not take any reps. He has not been cleared yet to play. I think they do the protocol every day. They give him a little test to fill out, and so as soon as he's cleared up and ready to go, they'll release him. I'm hoping it's for this week, but I think we'll have an idea by tomorrow whether or not he'll be available. But we'll wait and see when we get out on the practice field and see how he wakes up in the morning. Those things are something that we take very serious, and we want to make sure that he's completely healthy. We're not going to take any chances. So if he's not able to go, Connor Janal and Isaiah Chavez will be our two quarterbacks going into it. Maybe we'll give Bryson Carroll a few snaps so we have an emergency quarterback in case something happens to those two. You always got to be prepared, but we'll throw a team out there that's ready to compete and have some fun against the Wyoming Cowboys. So
you've had a workout or two now with Connor Janal running the ones in practice. How's he looked? With the last 2 weeks, he's actually had some reps with the ones. So when he got in there on Saturday, it wasn't a complete surprise to those guys he was working with or to him. Now, it was a little bit different because he hadn't played in a real game in just over 3 years. So I thought he did a really good job, and I think he had some fun. Going into this week, he's getting all the reps, unless Tavaka is able to go tomorrow. And then it'll give him an opportunity to be as prepared as possible to going into that game. Okay, you've got Wyoming in your adopted home there in Las Vegas, Sam Boyd Stadium, and we know they run the heck out of the football. Is this as good a rushing attack as the Air Force Academy? I know it's a different kind of attack, but they're really good at it, right? They are. I mean, I think they do a great job in their evaluation process of running backs. They get guys that are very similar. They're big. They're downhill runners. They don't break down. They try and run through you. They try and run over you. It's the kind of stuff that I like to see. So we've challenged our guys with it because I think we need to become a lot more physical football team if we prepare like we did for Nevada. Because I really thought that's kind of the only game that we've been the most physical team in so far this year. If we can prepare and get ourselves ready to go. And I really believe in my heart of hearts that you have to prepare yourself the entire week for that kind of a physical battle. You don't show up on Saturday and think you're going to be physical. I mean, you both mentally and physically have to get yourself ready to go. So we've challenged our guys all week and we'll continue for the rest of the week. We had a couple of days off that we can do some self-scout to see if we're missing some things as coaches, if there's guys out there that should be getting more plays, or if we can do some things different schematically, that'll give them a chance. So I thought that was a good little break for our guys. Friday was the first real day that they've had off where they had nothing to do with football because of meeting. We didn't test on Friday, so they got a little bit of more rest there and a chance to hydrate. So I'm looking forward for them. Hopefully we'll come out with the right set of frame of mind, be a really physical football team. And this is, just like you said, this is the kind of game I love. It's going to be a physical, downhill football game. Well, we look forward to Saturday night at Sam Boyd Stadium in Las Vegas. Coach G, thanks for being with us on the Coaches Show. Best of luck against Wyoming this weekend. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it, and go Lobos. That's it for your Lobo Coaches Show. For Chase Christensen and Frank Mercogliano and Stanley Frazier and head football coach at UNM, Danny Gonzales, I'm Robert Portnoy. Till next time, so long, everybody, and go Lobos.